Welcome to another episode of Sisterhood Insanity. I'm your host, Jessie.
And I'm your host, Grace.
It's been a couple weeks since we've had a video or discussed anything. It was a good break, and I think the space in between has been good and will be good. But this week we're talking about body positivity, self-image, the way that we view ourselves and why we view ourselves a certain way.
Yeah. What today's society projects on us and how we should look.
Yes. So we're going to talk about early memories of how we viewed ourselves and what changed our view of ourselves. Talking about society versus yourself, social media and how that plays a role in it, and then reframing your thoughts and how we can change those bad habits and mindset that we have.
Self-talk.
Yeah. And then from that, how we can reframe, what do we want to pass on to our children, those things that we hope that we don't, I guess, pass on to them. So talking about early memories, I remember what was your earliest memory of feeling self-conscious?
I've always been super self-conscious. I feel like that's why I don't like to go do things a lot. But I mean, even middle school, I've always been a bigger kid. When the boys were short, I was always tall. And then, they get taller and I stayed the same height and literally was always, I've always just been bigger built. I've never been a tiny girl ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, I can remember sixth grade hating the way I looked as early as sixth grade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would probably say mine was, let's see. You moved over to the other building, so I was probably even self-conscious before that. So fourth grade.
I would say I was too, but the first real memory I have is probably I could pinpoint something to sixth grade, but I know I was even in elementary. I just always felt like I was just so big compared to everyone else.
I don't even know if it was just I think I was more focused on hypersensitive of feeling like everyone was watching me.
Oh yeah.
And what I look like. And so I was self-conscious in that way. And back in the day, it's the jeans that you wore,
yes.
They didn't make them for people that had a big butt.
Yeah.
And I just remember even in elementary, so worried when I had just that one pair of jeans to wear.
Yeah, because they were low rise.
Yes.
The thing too.
Yes.
Back when we were kids,
yes.
low rise jeans were what we wore.
Yes.
Which are not,
they don't look good at all.
No, they're not good looking. They're not flattering unless you have a stick figure body.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had any sort of curve to you, you couldn't keep them up, because what happens with jeans?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you have any sort of curve to you, they're always huge in the waist to fit your hips or your butt.
Well, but also at the time they didn't have the different types of denim. So now our denim has a lot of elastic in it. So it's stretchy. They didn't have that then. It was starchy.
Yeah.
There was no give. So you either suffocated your stomach and then literally felt like you were going to rip out the butt.
Mm-hmm.
Or you had the low rise that literally still cut your circulation off, but now you see your butt crack. Just, I think that the clothes, and we didn't have social media and stuff like that. I think the only thing you had to base off of was TV.
Yeah, but also your friends, that's where mine always, I was so self-conscious because of the people I was around.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously I think that I view myself like I'm very, very harsh on myself and always have been. For I mean, even as a child, like
Yes.
But that was like a learned, learned trait.
Yes, like I feel like I want my kids to feel good about themselves and their body and feel beautiful and not think about it in a term of like being big or small.
Yeah,
like that doesn't determine if
thing.
you're beautiful.
Now that I have Blakely, I try to never ever talk about myself in a negative way in front of her. I'm very, very, very conscious of that, only because like I know how it's negatively affected me.
Yes.
And like
I guess like growing up too, like I just remember like I don't have like specific of like this one time of like somebody coming up to me like you're fat, but like hearing kids call other kids fat, then that kind of brought that into like my forefront of like what does that mean? Like
no, I was definitely called fat when I was young, like 100%. I remember boys making fun of me for like my build. I mean, my body build is a certain way, like, and then also having like you and Jackie have always been super fit, super athletic. And so that's like very hard on me because I feel like, yes, we have the same genetics, but I'm built completely different than you guys. And now that I'm an adult, I realize like I will never look like you guys, especially up top, because I'm not built the same at all. Like my shoulders are not the same, my chest is not the same.
But no one person is built the same. And like I guess like that's the biggest thing. And like as you get older, like I mean we're gonna get into more stuff, but I just feel like when you're younger, like you don't have the only person really that you can like you interact with kids at school finally, but you have your parents and the people that raise you. And so I think like that's where like I hope my kids don't hear me talk bad about myself. Like I might think something, but I don't try to say it in front of them.
Even like my friends, like I know I shouldn't interject like on their parenting, but sometimes I'm like, if I hear them talking bad about themselves in front of the kids, I'm like, let's not do that actually, because like Blake might look like me one day. And so like body build wise, right now she doesn't obviously, but like even if she does look like me, I want her to think that she's the most beautiful thing in the world. Like, because we're all so different. Like, so it doesn't even matter in today's day and age.
So really. I guess like talking, like we can't really pinpoint a specific thing, but I know one thing for a fact, like I realized that my body image issues that I have, like I literally struggle with body image every day, that I think it came from culture, family, and just messages overall that I absorbed as a child. I don't think that it was one thing that was like this happened. I think it was over time my mind and things projected that
I also think it's part of being a woman though.
Yeah.
It's definitely a stigma around what a woman should look like or shouldn't look like. And
that brings us into like our second segment of society. So like society versus self. You're kind of talking about like the ideal body. So like things have changed drastically, which have been great in society, but there was a time when it was like, here's Barbie. That's like skinny, big boobs, small waist, you know, might have a little bit of hips, but real small legs. Like, and it wasn't accurate at all, but it made them look perfect. And so then you as a child buy this baby doll or Barbie that you think should look like you. And when you don't look like it, you're like, why? And so I definitely think that.
And I think a lot of it too is like things like you watch, you know, even as, I mean, I'm big into like the media, the news, even, you know, Disney, YouTube, they put out stuff that they want, messages they want your kids to hear, like subconsciously, I guess, not like that's like the main focus, but like put like things in their little heads to make them think. Like that's just what I mean, that's how, you know, big pharma even gets their stuff out there, is your commercials and stuff like that. So things that you're not necessarily sitting there and being like, oh, this is what this is about, but like in the back of their, like, that's like the second scheme, you know what I mean? Like they're working behind the scenes to get things in the door for your children to hear.
Yes, 100%. And so I think like my biggest thing, like with that, like my mindset for myself, like when I'm looking at stuff on social media, which I try not to, like, I don't normally look at stuff like that as far as like, oh, I want to be skinny. I think it's like when I see somebody that's posting stuff and I'm like, dang, they look good. And then I'm like, then I, again, like you said, project that on myself when it's like anything that's out there, we already know for media purposes, like isn't true completely. There's something altered. There's something they're not giving you the full information on. Try this diet guide. It will give you the, you know, the weight loss you've been dreaming of, stuff like that. And in reality, I mean, God made you the way you are for a reason. And I think like that's my thing. I'm trying to like remind myself, like, and I don't even know when I look at myself, like society, yeah, I've noticed stuff like that, but it's just me specifically. Like I always feel like I need to lose weight, and that's not
I
not
look
a
at
thing.
myself in the mirror and like cringe. But like I internalize, because I don't want Blakely obviously to hear myself, or I'll have conversations with Andrew if I need someone to talk to about it. Because I do get very, very depressed in the fact of like, one, I'm the strongest I think I've ever been in my entire life. Like even in high school playing sports, like I didn't eat right. You know, I only worked out when I played my sport. Right now I work out the most I ever have in my entire life, not just cardio, you know, like lifting, strength training, all the things. I try to fuel my body with the correct foods to help me sustain my muscle. And I still like, you know, I posted a TikTok golfing the other day, and I wasn't going to post the video because I hated how I looked. Like when I watch the video, I see every single thing about myself I don't like. And I was like crying because I'm proud of myself because I've lost so much weight, but also I'm proud of myself for, you know, where I'm at mentally. I think have the best mental health I ever have in my entire life. I'm the strongest I ever have been. I took up a new hobby sport, and that's something that me and my husband can do together. But why do I still hate the way I look? Even when I've been at my smallest, which was actually a year and a half after I had Blakely, I was at my smallest weight I had been since probably middle school, to be honest. And I hated the way I looked still. And obviously I've probably put on 15 pounds since that weight, but I still have lost a significant amount since having Blakely. And yeah, I mean, I just look at myself and cringe. And I hate that. I hate that about myself. And that's like my one thing I think is my biggest flaw of myself. I can't stand the negative self-talk.
Yeah, and I guess like how do we change that? Like for myself, I would hate if my daughter was like that.
Oh,
so like for me, like why do I waste so much energy on something that I really work hard to feel good about myself, but if I'm working so hard, why am I going to keep thinking negative?
Yeah. And that's just it. Like I don't know. I literally I don't know how to change that about myself. And like I've done therapy, we've talked about it, And also, like, for me, like, my autoimmune conditions, like, they impact my weight loss, how I look, how I feel every single day of my life, and that will never ever go away. There's no cure, there's no medicine for me. And there, like, it goes hand in hand though too, because the autoimmune conditions make you depressed and anxious. And so, like, I it's like, wow, this works against me as I'm, I have a goal that I want to meet, but my body works against me in so many ways. So it's like,
I guess, like,
how do you change?
I think it's just like not focusing on, like, you have this goal, that's great, but at the end of the day you need to love, like, the skin that you're in. And so, like, when you think that negative thought, try to stop yourself and thinking, like, no, I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
No matter what,
I do try to tell myself, like, I birthed a whole human being, and I will never ever look the same as I did before that. There's just something after childbirth, and you're like, my hips have changed. Just, I didn't even like really get like I have some stretch marks, but nothing like too crazy, you know what I mean? But it's just like, your body just does not look the same. I mean, if you breastfed, you look different there. So I do try to tell myself, like, you gave birth to a whole human. And also, like, I always say, like, I am in the best health I have ever been in right now in this time of my life. Even when I was smaller, like that year and a half after I had Blakely, I was not healthy because I wasn't eating. I was literally only doing cardio. That's the only workout I ever did because I just wanted to be skinny. But also, I felt the effects of that with my autoimmune condition flaring up. My face started breaking out. My body literally was giving up on me. Like, I could not stay awake. I took naps every single day because I couldn't function without sleeping. So I guess that is one thing I'm always like, even though I weigh more, I also have way more muscle than I did. And I rarely take naps now, so that's a good thing. And my face has kind of stopped breaking out.
Yeah, so it sounds like you've had some change. I think, like, the biggest, like, obviously starting this out, we're kind of giving our backstory and stuff and about social media, but, like, it's a known fact a lot of women feel the same way.
Oh, 100%.
And like, we're not the only ones sitting here. That's why we're doing this episode, and why I thought, like, I want to get this out here, because even myself, as, like, being an avid person that loves nutrition and working out, the people that I would work out with would have the same issues. And, just because you work out doesn't mean that you don't struggle with that type of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. But I also think, like, every single time when I was working out, I would hear people like, I weigh this much, I weigh this much. And for myself, if I could give any advice for anyone, like, the scale does not determine how you look. So the scale, like, yes, in a way, like, if you're trying, like, your doctor says, oh, you need to lose 10 pounds, cool. But that weight and that scale that you have at home, for one, it's probably not calibrated correctly. And two, it doesn't take into account the different parts that really make up your body mass.
Yeah.
So, like, just muscle weighs more than fat.
100%. I think it's like, what, 1 pound of muscle is like 5 pounds of fat or something like that. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. So I just think, like, us as women, like, we need to do better about uplifting ourselves and others.
Well, and I think that's it too. Whenever I hear, like, more like Jackie, if she talks negatively about herself, I instantly go, like, I feel frustrated because, like, obviously she's smaller than me. And so then I'm like, well, if you think that about yourself, like, what do you think I feel? Like, I hate talking about my body in front of other people. And I hate when other people talk about their body in front of me. It's just such a trigger.
I just think
like even when we go out to eat as a family, and everyone's talking about like, oh, I'm gonna get this because I want to eat healthy and blah blah blah. Triggered.
I don't think I say stuff like that, do I? When we go out to eat?
No, you never really bring.
I don't like to talk like that.
It's usually like other people in the family, but irregardless, like I hate talking about stuff like that in the first place because
But I also think, like you said, like you're hearing that. Like we grew up hearing stuff like that, which then put that in our mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's an instant trigger. Like I said, like the moment someone starts talking about it, instantly I feel bad about myself.
Yeah.
Instantly. Like it's a full mood change for me.
And I think like, so like food is good for your body. Mm-hmm. And I think for so long it was don't eat. You need to cut your calories and you need to be in a calorie deficit and all that. And like, not that I'm saying like you can't do that, but we've learned now that nutrition to fuel your body and obviously not cutting out the junk. So all this processed food, which you can only have, I mean, like we all eat processed food. Yeah, it just is what it is. Everything's genetically modified and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I think like the little things, like could you eat a steak over a cupcake? You know, like stuff like that. And I think that is like becoming more known as far as like stuff I've seen, but you still have those fads out there of different things. And like especially with the weight loss medicines that are coming out, like yes, it's great that they have stuff like that, but I think it's being used for the wrong purposes. Like somebody like you, yes, you need to be on it because your autoimmune system is fighting against your body to lose weight. Diabetic people need it because their body and their framework is not right.
I've actually done a ton of research on GLP-1s because of the negativity that it got and such. And microdosing, so small amounts of GLP-1 for people who are just trying to lose weight, don't have any health issues, is okay. But you do not need the full dose of a GLP-1 when you have no health issues.
No.
There is zero reason for that.
No.
I take very, very small doses of a GLP-1 in order to literally not hurt because my autoimmune condition makes my entire body inflamed and I feel like my bones literally hurt.
But that's what I'm saying of like the repercussions of taking something that your body actually doesn't need. And there was a time where like you actually had to see an endocrinologist and they actually had to do labs and for you to get this medicine. And now it's anyone and everyone can go to a nurse practitioner and get weight loss, even if you don't need it. I mean, I know people that look like me and are on it, and it's like, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Because you're taking the stuff, for one, away from people that need it, and two, do they realize how that will affect their metabolism?
Yeah, when they're off of it.
Yes.
Like it's made it impossible for like me to get, which is so frustrating.
Yes.
Because it helps me so much, and I wouldn't wish my autoimmune condition on anyone, but like you hear autoimmune condition and I think people just like are like, oh, you're fine, like whatever. If you felt the pain, the inflammation, I can't eat certain foods because it literally hurts me. My hair falls out. I mean, you name it, it's probably happening to me. So yeah, you think that it's just an autoimmune condition, whatever, but it really does affect people in so many different ways, especially like mine, fertility. And so like, yeah, it sucks when people are just out here getting it, and then it's like impossible for me to get, for like, you have to pay like $1,000 to get it.
Yeah, I just think like the biggest thing and the reason why I went down this is like, if you don't love your body, just taking something for right now is not going to change.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think is going to happen when you come
off of it?
You're going to gain the weight back. Yes. It's all about lifestyle changes, which I already implemented before taking a GLP-1. Like, I literally, if you go on my TikTok, I have a TikTok about it. Like, I do everything that I was doing before I was on the GLP-1. I do nothing different. I literally, honestly, I almost eat the exact same amount, maybe even more, because I work out so much.
Like, you're hungry.
Yeah, like I have to fuel my body.
Yes.
But I've lost more weight by eating more than starving myself. And I don't think that people realize that you have to fuel your body to get the results that you want. 80% of losing weight or having the achievements you want is about your diet and what you're putting in your body. And then 20% is working out. I mean, I work out for mental health. And
I've said that for the longest time, but people, you can say it till you're blue in the face, but like someone that does not understand it and doesn't want to will not change.
Yeah.
Like, they have to learn that eventually that medicine that they're taking, or the starvation, that isn't helping them. And that until they hit like rock bottom, they won't. And so I think, like, moving forward, like, how do we change those mindsets? So if you are a person that's struggling with that, you know, think about not what your body looks like, but what does your body do for you? Like, we are so lucky. We can walk.
Yeah.
You know, I can hug my child. You know, I'm able to play with my child.
Yeah.
I fuel my body so that I'm able to do things with my children. And I would never.
Not only that, but like, I want my kid to see that I do eat a well-rounded diet.
Yes. And like, I am a person that, like, because I've never had the mindset of this is healthy, this is not, I am like that with my kids. Like, with some things, like, yes, you can eat that, but you need to eat something that's better for your body. Like, you need to eat something that's healthy. And I'm not saying that in a way of like, you're fat. I'm saying, like, this will make you feel good, this will not.
You're going to come back in 10 minutes and you're going to be hungry because it's not something that's filling you and fueling your body.
Yes.
And I, you know, like, I try not to be a super stickler with Blake, but I really am, like, also how they act is impacted by what they're putting in their bodies.
Which I think, like, society as a whole is changing in that fact of, like, the government and stuff, they are trying to change and ban those things that have been put into our foods for our children that have impacted their behavior, because it messes with your chemical makeup. But anything genetically modified, anything that is not naturally made, will mess with your brain.
Everything nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, even your meat, I always say, like, if you can get it from a local farmer, get your meat from a local farmer.
Your vegetables, if you can grow them yourselves.
Or I do know, like, Whole Foods has a better, like, rating when it comes to, like, or Trader Joe's
or Thrive Market does that too. Now, like, I don't do any of that. That's expensive for me. But, like, we do get our meat someplace from, like, a local source farm. But other than that, like, it is what it is. I just think, like, being more self-aware of eating, you know, protein, healthy fats, and vegetables. Like, doesn't have to be every meal, you know, but just trying to add and change those little bits. Because believe it or not, you are going to feel better eventually by eating just that kind of stuff versus junk, or not eating at all. Not eating at all is actually horrible for your body.
If I don't eat at all, I literally feel like I'm going to pass out, like I'm unwell. But I literally religiously get up now. I used to never eat breakfast, ever. And now I have to. By the time morning comes, I'm starved.
Yeah.
I have to have my coffee, and I have to have my food, and I eat lunch now. I never used to eat lunch, and now I'm like, I at least have to have, like, something.
Right.
Like, I have to have cottage cheese or just something that can fuel me to get me through till dinner. And then I would say that dinner is probably one of my biggest meals of the day. And that's only because I have time to actually sit down and make something that is like has everything that I need to get the rest of my stuff in for the day.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think like we've talked about memories, we've talked about society and that pressure, but how it's been changing, nutrition just a little bit, and stuff that we kind of need to watch out for as women, that not everything you see out there is true and legit. Focus on what you know is good, which is healthy food and natural grown food. But then also, getting rest too plays a role into it as well. And we're going to have another episode on that. But I think like next to wrap it up is like talking about how we're going to change that. So like talking positively about yourself, stop those negative thoughts and change it into a positive. Write down those thoughts when you're having them, and then look back and be like, brain dump. Like, okay, that's stupid. Why do I even think that about myself? But getting it out, but not have your kids hear it. I think like to pass it on to the next generation of change.
I want my kid to always
I want my kid to love themselves, love their body. Like my kids love, like they don't even talk like that, think like that, period. But I'm always saying like, you're beautiful. You
like
are
Blake
so
doesn't
beautiful.
even know the word fat.
Yeah, like you're so beautiful. Like you, I love your hair. You just are so cute. Like I want my kids to like literally have no inkling of crap like that. And I know eventually it will get there because of society and just stuff placed out there. But I think us as moms, like we can only do what we can do, but the best thing we can do is uplift our children constantly. And even if they could hear us, as much as you might cringe, like, I love my body. I'm so thankful.
Well, that's funny because Blake like works out with me. Like
yes, the girls like to too.
She's really not doing anything. She's probably hitting me in the head with a sword. Or today I was doing push-ups and she was standing over me whenever I came to like get up, and her bow was like in my face. Scared the crap out of me because I didn't even know she was there, because I did push-ups and then mountain climber. So like I was like looking down. I'm not like looking at to see if someone's walking. Holy cow, I about freaking had a heart attack. I'm not kidding. Blake was dying laughing. I was like, it is not funny. But I do, when you work out with Jess Sims on Peloton or whatever, she is big about like body positivity. And after every one of her workouts, she's always says like, say out loud, I am thankful for my body. I am like so grateful that I'm able to move today. And she's like, it might sound cheesy, but you need to say it out loud because you only get like one body in this life, and it's allowing you to do these hard things.
Yeah, and when you look back and be like, you hated yourself your whole life for what? Did nothing for you.
Yeah.
So I've been really working on that, and I
today Andrew goes, we're at the picking out pumpkins, and he is like, we should get a huge pumpkin. And I'm like, okay. And so like I pick one out, and he's like, oh, now lift it up. And I was like, okay. Like, I mean, it was like I could barely get my arms around it, and I like lifted it, and he was like, wow, I didn't think you would be able to lift that up. And I was like, dude, I'm very strong.
Yes.
Like, I guarantee I could beat him in an arm wrestling competition. Like, I'm literally the strongest I've ever been.
Yeah. So, and that's awesome. That is great. I'm so proud of you. And like, no matter what, the scale doesn't determine who you are or what you are.
And that's what, like, other thing is like the non-scale victories. So like my my clothes being big, obviously, like this shirt I used to fit in, and now it literally will cover up my shorts like a dress. And that's a non-scale victory, but it's also like, that's not what defines me. I'm just like,
you're thankful for it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think like for me, victories, I don't ever use a scale, but like victories for me is just like being happy with my body and everything that I put into my body. Like, it's okay if I eat something bad, I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's my one
That's
thing.
my hardest
thing. If I eat something bad, I'm like, tomorrow I gotta run 10 miles on the treadmill, and in
reality, it's gonna be fine. Like, you aren't gaining weight by just looking at your food.
And if I take, like, obviously you're supposed to take rest days, but like, I try not to take like 2 days in a row. I try to do like one, work out a couple of days, take another one. And this week I took 2 in a row, and I was like, God, you're just like such a piece of crap. Like, you need to.
But your body probably needed it.
When I came back, I lifted. I went up in my weight, and I could do more reps because my body was not so fatigued.
Yeah.
And like, I also non-scale victory is like my heart rate. So like, do you remember when we were in Tennessee and we went on that walk up that hill, and it was like, I literally thought I was going to pass out. I'm not kidding. I was like in the 170s heart rate. I did like a full cardio workout yesterday, and my heart rate was only like 160.
That's good.
And it was like way more intense than us walking up that hill. So like, that's another
exactly. You're actually taking time for yourself. Yes. All right. Well, I think the takeaway from today is loving yourself, and that don't let those insecurities define you. Be a strong woman, an independent woman, somebody that shows that they love themselves and are confident is way better than somebody that's sitting back insecure. So we need to show that to ourselves and to others. So this week, I think my challenge for all of you listeners is to find that kindness for yourself and to talk good about yourself. Like Gracie said, tell yourself, like, I'm thankful for the body I have. I'm thankful that I am able to work out today, stuff like that.
I'm just thankful to be able to play with my kids, my kid, and not feel, like I can't get up off the floor or out of breath. I can literally chase my toddler and not be like, oh my God, I'm dying. Yes. So those are huge wins.
Yeah. Well, if today's episode spoke to you, share it with a friend. Don't forget to leave us a review and come hang out with us on social media. I try to post a little bit on TikTok, but I do post about our episodes on Facebook and Instagram.
The TikTok's hard for me.
Yeah. But I am trying to post, so I will post on Spotify if I can get it to work. That app is a pain. But I will post it on YouTube. What? It is. And then
no, Ace has it. I think Quinn's nightlight in his mouth.
Oh well.
It's a corgi nightlight. Jackie got it for her.
And then I'm gonna try to post on Apple Podcasts because I think that would reach more of a platform too, so more people. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yep. We'll see you next time. Bye.